Now that Tuesday night's All-Star game has happened, we can now focus on the second part of the season for the Atlanta Braves, and they are in a better position now than they were a year ago. Last year at this time, they were still under 500 and were 4.5 games back of the New York Mets. Of course, the Braves got that out of the way a little while ago to get over the 500 mark. They're 18 games over 500 now, and only 2.5 games back of the New York Mets. Of course, the Mets are better now than they were a year ago, and they have Max Scherzer, who is another player they did not have last season. But this was the time a year ago when Alex-Anthopoulos, the GM of the Atlanta Braves, made 6 trades between the All-Star break and the trade deadline. That was mostly out of need because the injuries to Travis d'Arnaud, Marcell Ozuna, and of course, Ronald Acuna. Well, the injuries aren't as bad, knock on wood, right now for the Braves, but that puts them in a very unique position. There's not a whole lot of need in this team right now, but they can look for luxury items. The one thing they may look at, though, as a need is another pitcher for the rotation. Now, we know for the most part, this rotation has been very good, particularly since Spencer Strider came aboard about 6 weeks ago. But the one question that I have is whether or not Kyle Wright and Ian Anderson can both maintain their innings pitch limits, and not limits, but what they are doing right now as far as their innings and how they're increasing as they go along this season. Remember, last year, Ian Anderson took 6 weeks off after the All-Star break with some arm issues, and hopefully that won't be the case now, but that did limit his number of innings pitched for the season. Can Wright go past 140 innings? That's something he's never done before in his pro career or even his college career. So now that he's at 110 innings, you have to wonder, once he gets past the 140 mark, near 150, if he'll still be able to be as solid as he has been so far this year. And if there is concern with that, that's where Alex-Anthopoulos, the Braves GM, might turn and go get another starting pitcher. There's no doubt the market will have several pitchers out there. You want to get someone who could possibly play and pitch in the postseason for you, but it may need to be someone who could just give you some innings if, in fact, Wright and Anderson do have trouble in the second part of the season with innings pitched. So that's something to look at. And also, of course, the need for another bullpen arm, which is always out there, even though right now with Kenley Jansen back and Tyler Matzek back, the bullpen's in pretty good shape. So don't expect 6 trades from Alex-Anthopoulos, but instead trades and moves that could help this team, particularly when they get the playoffs in October.